Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Yo. morning. Got a good stream today. Got a good spread of stuff again. Yeah, second day of the new year. Nothing much has changed. Continuing to go at it. Alright, we're gonna start with some videos today just because warm up a bit. And two robot videos. One, we got Amazon's new robotic fulfillment center and humanoid robot trends 2025. This looks like Tesla, so let's start with this one here.
If you want to know how automation, AI, and people are working together, you can see it inside this 3 million square foot building where Amazon employs more than 1,400 people and stores up to 40 million products. Amazon says it logged its biggest Thanksgiving holiday shopping period ever this year, and data
This was 2 weeks ago. So
shows consumers spent a record $10.8 billion online on Black Friday alone, 10% more than last year, making this kind of efficiency the future.
I'm here in Shreveport, Louisiana, inside Amazon.
Interesting. I was wondering where. That's interesting, Louisiana.
Opened a couple of months ago. This is the first time national media has been inside. With me now is Chief Technologist Ty Brady. Ty,
hey, what's
what is
up?
happening here that's not happening anywhere else in the world?
Brady.
Here we have 10 times the amount of robotics as compared to any of our other fulfillment centers.
Interesting.
You can process your order 25% faster and offer a 25% lower cost to serve, which means that we can pass along that low cost to our customers.
Them passing off the low cost of the customer though is not. I mean, they generally probably pass it off to the seller as the customer. I just don't believe that Amazon passes on price savings to the consumer. It might be via Prime, like they might justify it like that or something, but
We first took you inside the Boston lab where these systems were being tested. This holiday, thousands of these robots are now fully operational.
These robots, like those like ground robots like that pick up the things, I've existed like for a while. It's nothing new.
Sparrow, Cardinal, Sequoia, Robin, and Proteus. It's
Like those
possible
things.
because here everything is containerized. Instead of humans walking miles a day to get products off the shelves, the items are put into blue and yellow bins that robots can easily maneuver.
We don't want people to lift heavy objects. We don't want people to take boxes and put it over their head or reach down really low. If we can have a robotic system do that for our employees, all the better.
The injury rate at Amazon is higher than those at other comparable warehouses, according to a report by the National
Hey,
Employment
bro, because they push them hella hard. Oh my god, it's not even close. Like it's literally that TJ Maxx. Although, what's the percentage? I mean, like, bro, they have like 5 times as many employees as Walmart. That's insane.
law project. But the company says technology like this has helped make substantial improvements to safety. In March, Amazon announced its reportable incident rate last year was 6.5 cases per 100 workers, down from 6.9 cases in 2022. Here, Sparrow is taking on a repetitive motion job. Amazon says having robots do this work is part of its pledge to reduce injuries.
So in other warehouses that don't have Sparrow, people are doing this job.
People can do this job.
I mean, that's the only job robots could do right now is like repetitive motion. So, I mean, I don't know. It's not like anything crazy.
But this is a menial, mundane, repetitive job. We'd rather have our people do other things inside of our building.
Through Amazon's upskilling program, people who used to do manual labor jobs are now moving into jobs overseeing, repairing, and programming these machines. Amazon says these roles can offer pay that's up to 40% higher than entry-level jobs. Once the items are sorted,
Are they like saying that to like, I don't know, that's like marketing, I guess. I don't know.
they head here to Sequoia, where humans and robots work together.
The goods are coming to the person on demand at just the right time. And
Like they sell that as like upskilling, like, oh, get a job as a warehouse worker and you could eventually get a job like making robots. But like, I guarantee you it's like a tiny percentage of people that they allow to upskill from the warehouse worker jobs. And it's probably based off of manager discretion, blah, blah, blah. Like, I don't know. That was like, yeah.
And we designed the system in order to be ergonomic for our people, right?
Yeah. So he's not bending down, he's not reaching
Exactly.
up.
There's no ladders to reach up. He's not bending down on his knees, right? It's in the Goldilocks zone or the power zone.
Brady says the best packaging is no packaging. He says Amazon's eliminated more than 130 million plastic bags by replacing them with paper or even skipping packaging.
So if something already comes in its own box or packaging that's safe to ship,
That's
you
right.
don't need to add more packaging.
That's right.
This is Proteus. As you can see, it's carrying a bunch of Amazon items ready for delivery, and it has little
This guy
eyes
back here.
on its face, and it can sense when we're close to it. It'll chirp and stop when it notices people are in the way. Please, carry on.
It looks like a
Bro.
Roomba on steroids, but these robots work on the floor, and when there aren't enough of them, human workers push and pull those heavy carts. Brady says the future will never be fully automated because people need to design and program the robots and keep them running.
That's no way. That's like marketing. I don't know. Anyways, this actually wasn't even that insightful, if I'm being honest. There wasn't even that much. It was just like an ad for Amazon, to working in Amazon. That's what I got out of it. Okay, let's actually look at this. Honestly, CNET's probably not much better.
Hot
but
right now, with several companies in fierce competition, including titans of tech, we're exploring what the future could hold for these marching metallic mechanisms made in our image. Let's get into it. This year, Boston Dynamics introduced an all-new, all-electric Atlas, finally retiring its iconic acrobatic hydraulic Atlas, now called HD Atlas. Boston Dynamics says this new robot is a key stepping stone in the road to
All-electric.
commercializing this technology.
I assumed that the others were electric, but I think some of them were like their big quadruped one was like diesel or some shit. Like it literally had like a little like diesel engine or something. Or like not a diesel, maybe like propane. No, what are those Cox? Cox. I'm spelling it wrong, but yeah, Cox fuel. Remember those like Cox Cox engines, like for like as a kid? Yes, these literally. I don't know if this is true, but Proped diesel engine. I spelled that all wrong. Yeah, these right here, big dog. Big dog. Like these things are huge. They're like kind of like creepy looking too. He has a pack mule. Onboard computer. Yeah, without, oh wait. Hardware, okay, wait. Yeah, two-stroke. A little two-stroke engine. Well, that was completely off, but yeah, it just has a little two-stroke, one cylinder. Anyways, yeah, these Cox engines. We had like a Cox helicopter. And we, like, we literally, it's so sketch. We literally put this on. Oh, this thing right here. Yes. We put this thing on a string. This is a free fly one. We'd go down to our local hobby shop. You'd buy this. You could put it on a string, and you literally like spin in circles with this thing on the end of a string, and it would like fly. And I did it one time and put it into my dad's windshield, and that was pretty much the end of it. So I was just spinning and just like, whoa, I like lost my balance and just like spun it right into windshield. That's truck's windshield on the street. I don't even know if they would make these anymore. It might have been a helicopter, but or airplane, but I swear it was a helicopter. Like I swear it was this, but it wasn't free flying. We also then just took the engine off of it, and then we put it on like a little like toy dump truck, and we just put it on the back, and you'd like spin that thing and it would just haul. Anyways, okay, robots.
All new Atlas is
so Atlas is electric now, so that's interesting.
capable of moving in what I would call superhuman ways, which is one thing I suspect we'll be seeing more of as humanoid robotics technology advances. Just because these robots are shaped like humans, doing jobs traditionally performed by humans, and operating in environments made for humans, doesn't mean they have to be limited in the same way as human beings are limited. For example, if it's more efficient to turn your torso and legs in different directions, I think we'll see robots doing that. It's also an eye-catching way for companies to prove their capabilities and make them stand out from the competition. We can see this clearly in the Unitree G1.
Okay, this Unitree one, I swear these videos are fake though. This is the Chinese one we actually looked at on stream the other day. I don't know about these guys. It just seems their videos seem fake.
A smaller, more affordable humanoid robot starting at $16,000 that folds up to less than 3 feet in size, presumably for things like storage and shipping. Unitree is a Chinese company that distinguishes itself in the crowded field of robotics by producing more affordable robots on both 2 and 4 legs. Other companies stand apart from the crowd by targeting the home as opposed to the warehouse. 1X's latest humanoid robot, Neo, is shown...
Yeah, the home, it's too early for this shit though, bro. Like, and also, honestly, who's gonna buy it? And then not only have to buy it, it's gonna be hella maintenance because it's so early on, like...
in its announcement video with its arm around a person. That's something we don't see often from robotics companies.
Interesting.
Perhaps attempting to portray the robot as something that can be trusted.
Is that the one we covered? Wait.
Then there's the issue of autonomy.
Bro, I literally can't pause the video. Is that the one we covered yesterday? Neo robot. No, this is not. This isn't. This one's weird. Like, why do, like, the fact that they have these like clothes on them just makes it look weirder. Eve, Neo, because the other whoever we looked at yesterday, it was actually TechCrunch. Wait, what am I doing? I could just go. Clone. These guys, okay. I thought theirs was called Neo 2 or something. Oh, just Clone Alpha. Okay, okay. Anyways, okay, let's continue.
Robots will have to be able to learn new skills with as little help as possible. Perhaps by observation and mimicry, learning and simulation, teleoperation, or some combination. Some companies are clearly labeling their demos autonomous or fully autonomous, while others are less upfront about the degree of human assistance behind the scenes. Tesla's Optimus robot was performing tasks at the company's We Robot event, but was reportedly not working autonomously, perhaps due to the low light and crowded environment. The company later shared video of its robots autonomously performing similar tasks in a controlled lab environment. If a company isn't telling you clearly that what you're seeing is autonomous, autonomy should never be assumed. A lot can be hidden behind that shiny robotic front. Another big question I'll be asking in 2025 is, what is the best approach to actually building robots that work? We've already seen several robotics companies partnering up with companies like NVIDIA and OpenAI using their hardware and software as a jumping off point to get their robots.
Hey, these guys figure. Yeah, these are probably they're one of the bigger guys, and they're actually like, not to shit on like Clone or whatever, but they're being more realistic, and they actually have real life prototypes that they could like ship to customers and stuff to test out.
Talking, learning, and performing,
but they're just much more expensive.
Faster than if each company.
This is cool. Yeah, and NVIDIA, got Jensen Huang here, NVIDIA CEO. NVIDIA's investing big in robotics, and that's kind of their next big thing after AIs is robots. And they just announced they're like Jetson Thor, which is a computer specifically built for robots, like that's compact and could kind of act as the brain, I guess. But NVIDIA's betting on robotics next too. Like they're trying to get on the next big train.
Had to do it all from scratch. At the same time, you've got a company like Tesla that basically said, hey, the self-driving we're developing for our cars is kind of like what you need to control a humanoid robot. So instead of starting from scratch, they took advantage of all the data, hardware, and AI they were already developing to put it to work in a new form factor with Optimus.
I mean, that's a daunting task though. That's not just like, oh yeah, we'll just like put this data in the robot and like, yeah, you know, it's like, I don't know, it's like completely different modality to, you know, train stuff in. Excuse me.
Optimus. We also saw Boston Dynamics announce a deal with Toyota Research Institute, which has been working to develop a large behavior model, similar to a large language model that generates human-like behaviors instead of text. Toyota Research Institute has also been working on developing self-driving and self-drifting cars. It'll be interesting to watch if more partnerships emerge between the self-driving space and the humanoid robotic space.
Self-drifting.
I'm expecting more feats of hypermobility, more industry partnerships, and more companies seeking to distinguish themselves from the army of humanoid robots marching into the future. How do you feel about humanoid robots? Let us know your thoughts, dreams, and sci-fi nightmares.
Interesting. Wait, robot will probably attack me, but I'll be too old to care by then. Okay. Star Wars droid like robots, yeah, that is. All right, I mean that was interesting. I'm sure we'll see more. I mean, I want to cover on stream here, but I'm sure we'll see more robotic stuff. But I definitely think we have a little bit of time for that. This year, I'm sure a lot will develop as AI matures and the existing robotics companies kind of figure things out. But definitely see more robot progress. Okay, let's jump into this story. I wasn't going to cover this, but it came out. I saw it the other day, but it was kind of interesting, and I have a little more thoughts on it, I guess. But Meta's big bet on bots. Why AA friends are coming to Facebook and Instagram. Yeah, this is interesting because obviously it's using AI behind the scenes, but I guess like if you think about I don't know, I guess like think about like China and like kind of how they have like their influencers and creators are definitely on the rise, and a lot of people get news, they get events, they get information from these influencers, generally told in a way that, or by a person that they like or, you know, follow or enjoy, like the way they deliver it. Maybe they, you know, like the factuality or whatever, you know, like there's some preference that people prefer when it comes from like a real human, or at least some organization that has that, you know, fits kind of their ideological view or worldview or whatever. And I think that, you know, that's only going to continue to rise. kind of the alternate media argument, or what kind of people talk about. And I think as, you know, influencers, whatever, creators go on the rise, obviously competition is going to be high, and realistically, if, you know, I think leveraging AI will, you know, help you stay ahead, which is what I'm trying to do. But thinking about it from a corporation's perspective, that is like honestly not that good for them. I think part of it is assuming that they're on their platform like Facebook, YouTube, you know, like with Google, they have at least some, you know, control, but really I feel like it almost takes power away from them in a way. But I think that there's just going to be a shift in actual platforms like this once AI kind of just, I don't know, takes off a bit more, becomes a bit more mainstream, and they kind of just, the whole thing is like these social media companies are trying to compete with their own customers in a way, is how I'm seeing it now. And so Meta could create these, you know, Meta has the data behind the scenes to understand what, you know, drives people to certain pages and profiles, or at least just, you know, understands user behavior to an insane degree. You know, I mean, the CIA was a early investment in Facebook for obvious reasons. It's just because of the data or whatever. If they could turn that against, you know, not against them, but like use it in a way that benefits them by creating these fake creators that is just AI generated, and, you know, it could essentially one, there's zero morals or ethics you have to worry about because it's not a real person. So if they get canceled, just fucking spin up another person that's similar, whatever. So they could just test and do whatever, like provocative stuff, I guess. They know what to do and say, since it's just a, you know, human. They have the data to understand what people would probably want or see, or get better engagement or whatever. And all of that is to, again, drive better engagement, I guess, but to show the shareholders that, you know, we're creating more value, we're keeping people on the platform longer. I think that's a big metric that Facebook uses, is like how long you spend on the platform. But yeah, so I guess I could see this making sense or whatever, and I actually don't think it's even bad if it really, like, if people enjoy it and like, or whatever, like, I don't know, I guess it's whatever. I'm not like some like purist in the sense that, like, I don't, like, if people use AI to make things, like, as long as it's up front, then I don't really, as long as they're up front, and like, I don't really care. Even if they generated the entire thing, like, if they're like, hey, AI made this, I'm like, cool. Like, you know, if you deliver it in a way that is enjoyable still, and you still do it, and it's like, I learned something and it's actually true and factual, then I don't know, I think it's okay. And so I think if they take approach to this, like, I don't know, might actually not even be that bad. And I may be just like over forecasting or over reading into this, but yeah. Okay, let's read this here. It's actually not that long. Among Meta's many resolutions for the new year, making augmented reality and the metaverse happen, positioning itself to absorb TikTok refugees if the app got banned, cracking open Apple's platforms to get more access to user data, and attriting its competition in artificial intelligence with breathtaking spending. One stands out as plain weird, filling its social media platform with bots. Read this. According to Financial Times, the Silicon Valley Group is rolling out a range of AI products, including one that helps users create AI characters on Instagram and Facebook as it battles with rival tech groups to attract and retain younger audience. We expect these AIs to actually, over time, exist on our platform in kind of the same way that accounts do, said Connor Hayes, Vice President of Producing Product of Generative AI at Meta. Interesting. They'll have bios and profile pictures and be able to generate and share content powered by AI on the platform. That's where we see all of this headed. And like on top of this, so I think there's like a website called like character.ai, which is actually one of it's actually, I think it's a huge, like it's one of the most popular AI websites, like after like ChatGPT and like kind of those more traditional ones. But I think what a lot of people use it for, I saw it anecdotal because I'm not really involved in like this kind of AI stuff, but someone on, or like there's like a thread on Reddit and someone posted some screenshots for it of people just kind of saying how essentially they like don't have many friends and they used like one of these like characters on here to kind of talk to like their friend, and they talk to him for like hours. And someone's like, I don't know, it's like I have nothing better to do. I talk to him, you know, for 8 hours a day or whatever, constantly, like a friend, like you would a partner, whatever. And I think that's kind of what they're seeing as a potential use case for this too. Because I guess imagine having an influencer, but then you could DM them and talk to them like on a personal level, like all the time. Like, yeah, I don't know. I could see how like people who, I guess, I don't know, fit into that archetype or whatever would enjoy something like that, or even be drawn to it, like go to the platform for that. And I guess with Meta's data, like I feel like they could do some like weird shit. Like they could just be like create emotional attachment, you know, like say things to create emotional attachment on purpose, I guess. Like I'm thinking about it in more of like a megacorp, you know, corporation way. Like they could use this data for like their benefit, not that good, but kind of manipulating the person, you know, the people. I don't know. I guess when I know I said that if people like that, then that's okay. But I guess if they're gonna like that, maybe not. I don't know. I'm just riffing, but yeah, this is just interesting. I guess it just feels very cyberpunky, little dystopic, you know, a little dystopia. Yeah, this is interesting. Okay, let's continue. The company has been talking about this for a while. To someone bewildered, what's a while? It was a month ago, 2 months ago. The company has been talking about this for a while to somewhat bewildered responses from the general public. The simplest explanation for what it's doing is that the company has invested a lot in building generative AI models and would like to get a return on investment through its most lucrative products. If there's an economically productive way for Meta to plug AI into Facebook, Instagram, WhatsApp, it'll consider it. But Meta, a company with no qualms about chasing, copying, and acquiring its way into trends, is also reacting here. It bought Social AI. Oh, really? A Twitter-ish social network where users' feeds and comment sections are filled entirely with bots playing different characters. Oh, okay. Well, this is exactly kind of like character AI in a way. Is this it? You have to get it from the App Store? Okay. That's interesting. At the same time, it's surely noticed that its platforms are already filling with, or are already filling with AI slop anyway. That some of this slop was creating a lot of engagement, meaning that in ways that matters most to Meta, it's not really slop at all. Yeah, I guess like if people are like engaging with it like it's like okay content, then like yeah, it might be AI slop, but it's like quality. The company also clearly noticed that the rise of character.ai, oh perfect, exactly what I was talking about, the popular but possibly doomed lawsuit magnet of an app which young users create and chat and act out fictional scenarios with AI characters. This is like being generous though, like people use it as like AI girlfriends and boyfriends and like it. Yeah, I mean this is what the company wants you to think it's used for, if I'm being honest, because yeah, I think they're being sued. Yeah, AI companion suggests he kills his parents. Like, what the fuck? Like, that's crazy. And there has been, I think, other instances where, like, someone actually has... Yeah, he's been cutting himself, lost 20 pounds. Like, bro, that's so fucked. Yeah. Anyways. What was I going to say on this? Oh yeah, AI slop. I do think AI slop is AI slop because people aren't really actually caring or approaching things in a way that they should. I kind of just had this thought where I feel like if you approach anything with like an artisanal, like an artistic or like a vision, you know, you could kind of get something actually good out of it regardless of like what the thing is. So like with AI, if you actually approach it in more of a like artistic way, or like artisanal, I keep using the word artisanal because that's the word I keep associating with it, way, or like having a bigger vision, or you know, or something like that. Just I'm mainly just approaching it with like an art or creative mindset. I think you could actually make good things, and I definitely see that with AI art. Like I follow several people who post fantastic AI art, and it's like they actually have a process. It's not just like generate me a cool picture with this. It's like, no, like they upload a picture, they, you know, they might use like Midjourney, then they process it with this other thing, then they put it into Photoshop to adjust levels, and like, you know, it's like it's more of an art process instead of just like, you know, the lowest amount of effort in having AI do all the heavy lifting. And I guess I'm saying you could have AI do the heavy lifting, but approach it, you know, with a vision or like a, you know, an artistic approach. And I think you could actually get like not slop out of it. And I think I'm gonna kind of try and do that in like, I don't know, be like a use case or a case study in a way to where like if you actually try, and like be creative and like approach it with like critical thinking, just like you would any problem or art or piece of art, because art is a lot of critical thinking in my opinion, you could actually get good things out of it. So yeah, we'll see. I don't know, but I think it's more so the AI slop. AI allows anyone, it removes the barrier of entry to a lot of things, and so you could have someone generate an essay by, you know, generate me an essay talking about you know, mechanical keyboards, or an article, and then that's it. That's literally about as much effort they put into it. So I don't know. Anyways, the AI slop is real though. It's so real. And especially like Facebook, where it's like longer form posts. I want to say it has an older user base, but I just don't actually know if that's true. I think I'm just generalizing. But they're like, no offense, they're less likely to tell probably, especially if they don't really use AI products, which we've seen in the survey yesterday. We know that older people use it much less. Anyways, yeah, so this is an interesting angle by Meta here. Okay, still Meta's framing here is unique by the company. Unique to the company. It's by far the leading American social networks firm, with more than 1 billion actual people using its product around the world to interact with one another. Practically everyone in tech is trying to practically everything with AI. I don't know. Okay. Also, it's insane how many typos I probably find at least 1 to 2 typos a day in these like mainstream articles. Like, I don't know. Anyways, it's kind of crazy. Like, come on, guys. Like, but okay, threw me up. Practically everyone in tech is trying practically everything they have. Fuck me, bro. I don't know. I'm just not on today. It's not even a typo. Practically everyone in tech is trying practically everything with AI. But Meta, the suggestion goes, in a singular position to populate shared human spaces with synthetic characters, and it seems to think it'll work. I think actually I am curious in their execution now, because now I'm thinking about it, like like what would they actually even post about? Like, I could see it being dumb. If they're like posting and stuff, like I could see that being dumb. Like, what would they actually post about? As galling as this might sound to casual Facebook user, after years of characterizing fake and automated profiles as spam, it's okay now if Meta is running the accounts and they're a little more convincing. Kind of true. You just have to go with like what Twitter did, where it's like you could just register your account as a bot, and then it just says like this is a bot when it's a Twitter thing, but it's allowed because it's, you know, everyone knows it's a bot. It has the benefit of sounding somewhat new and novel. Maybe these personas really will be engaging enough to post and respond alongside your friends, family, coworkers, celebrities, and your existing social media feeds. I just imagine being like, you like add one as friends, or like, you know, or so, like imagine someone who's like is into this or whatever, and they add it as friends, and like Facebook could like add an option to like have it like wish like your like family like happy birthday and stuff, and like all your like families like commenting like happy birthday like to like a media post, and this fucking like, you know, bots like love the hair's looking good, happy birthday, you know, hope the fam's doing well. Like that'd just be so funny. That'd just be so funny. It might not be a convincing story, but it's a story. Oh wait, I skipped something. Yeah, friends, family, coworkers, and celebrities into your existing social media feeds. Maybe social media feeds are the right place to encounter highly specific chatbots. Maybe these chatbots can be entertaining or even helpful in the context of the apps users already checked multiple times per day. It might not be a convincing story, but it's a story. There are increasingly intelligent bots among us, and they're joining social media. No, bro, this is how you scare people. As soon as we like, you know, I don't know. I feel like people who have like fragile, not fragile masculinity, fragile humanity. You know, as soon as like they realize like this thing is like smarter than them, I feel like they get defensive. They'd get defensive or like kind of like, yeah, I don't know. The main benefit of this story is that, like a lot of AI products, it's right there in the name. It anthropomorphizes the underlying technology. It makes it like human or alive. A less compelling but perhaps more honest and useful way to characterize Meta's impulse here is the next step in a long process of automation and social mediation. When Facebook and Instagram were new, the content you encountered wasn't just created by people you knew or chose to follow. It carried with it legible and obvious evidence of provenance. If you saw something from someone you didn't follow or intend to interact with, it was because someone you knew chose to share it. If you posted something, you could mostly assume it would be seen by people who intend to see it. Yeah, and it may be more by more people that intended to show it. Before the rise of TikTok, which mostly replaced follower relationships with opaque algorithmic distributions, but especially after it, Facebook and Instagram have leaned hard into subtler forms of automation. Content recommendations, people recommendations, unexplained stuff appearing in feeds as reels, or bugging users in notifications. The result is platforms where users are consuming more content, but in some cases producing less. Spaces that function less like social networks than like targeted advertising systems for everything. Yeah, and I think that it is definitely becoming more, people are like just letting go to the algorithm more, especially on YouTube. Most of YouTube now, the subscription feed is kind of worthless, and most people get their content through the browse feature, just going to the homepage and just kind of browsing, or like recommendations next to the video. They're just kind of giving into the algorithm instead of going to like, oh, your subscription feed where it's like, I subscribe to these people because I want to see more of their content. They're just kind of passing that up. And definitely the case with, at least, you know, like I haven't really used Facebook in a bit, but like Instagram is copying TikTok, you know, with Reels, kind of more algorithmic driven. Same with even their homepage. On like X, Twitter, the defaults to, you know, the algorithmic feed. It does still have chronological like post for your followers, and it's really easy to get to, so that's appreciated, you know. Easily go right here and it just back to chronological. I don't know, okay, I was like, I don't know if like this is actually, if they put Jesus Christ, I don't know if they put any other like things in here, but yeah, anyways, so people are just giving into the algorithm. So the fact that like if Meta could just like slip these in, you know, like people may not even know. And yeah, I guess, and like this is a true, like, you know, they're just giving into the algorithm, which in turn kind of, I feel like that's what they want these platforms to want, because then they could kind of feed you things that fit more to your target audience for better advertising. Yeah, I don't know. That's interesting. But yeah, this is definitely trend. This is interesting. A lot of formerly social aspects on platform like Facebook, in other words, have already been automated and replaced with machine learning, but each step in the direction has been subtle and somewhat concealed. You don't really know this, and certainly aren't clearly told. Yeah, I mean, this. I don't know. Machine learning isn't new though. While the generative AI or the modern AI as we know it might be new within the past few years, machine learning, which is kind of traditional AI, has existed for years, and that's what powers like algorithmic feeds. Like it's machine learning. Like your algorithm, it's machine learning. Recommendation systems like on YouTube, social media, e-commerce while you're shopping, those are all machine learning, like AI. So I mean, I don't know. It's kind of just like, yeah. You don't really know, and certainly aren't told why Meta assumes this or that. Yeah, okay. Let me restart this paragraph. A lot of formerly social aspects of platforms like Facebook, in other words, have already been automated and replaced with machine learning. But each step in this direction has been subtle and somewhat concealed. You don't really know, and certainly aren't told, why Meta assumes this or that Instagram Reel is something you want to see, or why one thing appears above another in algorithmically sorted feed. Yeah. This is a trend outside of just social media, because this is a lot of things nowadays have a bit more black box feel to it, and it just doesn't bode well for like long-term trust, I don't think. I mean, that's kind of what actual like generative AI, like ChatGPT and whatever, that's kind of a downside of it right now, is that it's hard to understand how it derives to the text that it generates. It's hard to understand like how it got there, and especially for businesses, that's one of the been reading a lot of like AI opinion survey and stuff here, and like a lot of it is based off, like a lot of their lack is or their skepticism based off of trust. They just don't actually trust the thing. Data security and privacy. This has gone down though, and this will continue to go down as we understand more and businesses understand more. Oh, bro, this thing is so good because it actually says change. A lot of these other ones haven't really mentioned change, or only a little bit. This is also interesting because I'm sure that they were hyped for it, and then they realized that fuck, our company's data is not ready, because this actually went up. Interesting. Okay, anyways, we're gonna look at this later. The idea of introducing AI characters into Meta's platforms is in some way distinct and new. We're talking about not just automating content creation and promoting here, but in some cases actual creation, but can also be understood as a way to rebrand an effective but alienating overhaul that's been decade in the making. With many AI products from ChatGPT to a customer support bot, the performance of personhood, which is a bit of a misleading magic trick, even when done carefully, is at least as important as raw capabilities. Meta can claim it's building technology to create social media agents that can exist on platforms in the same way that accounts do, and maybe it'll turn out to be right. But Meta's AI characters are also a way to slap more friendly, human-like faces on a long, bloodless campaign of social automation. Jesus. Is there any comments? I love reading comments on like mainstream news articles. Like, people are just unhinged. They just have crazy opinions. This is why Noah Yuval Harari warned about when he said AI fake people should be outlawed. Fake influencers, fake X accounts, etc. will increasingly be used by oligarchs to drive public opinion in the direction they desire. Yeah, I agree with this. But this is already happening with algorithmic feeds. This is no different. It's just on a personal level though, I guess, where it could maybe be pushed one like into more, or it could be touch people more, so it could maybe like work better. But I mean, it's already happening. Zuckerberg initially thought the opportunity to interact with him would bring millions into meta virtuality. Now they're supposed to be appealing to AIs. All about Facebook shows me people I have no no contact with, but never shows me people I am actually interested in hearing about. You fools, just because I hear the latter group rarely, that doesn't mean they're still not my top priority. I don't know what that means. Bro, but they do. That's what I'm saying. Like this character AI thing is insanely popular. Like, this is exactly what they're going to tell advertisers, and then they're just going to do it, and people are just going to fall for it. Like, I don't know, man. Like, I applaud him for having this opinion, but yeah. Now that most real people have abandoned Facebook and will soon abandon Instagram, the AI friends can interact with each other and all the trash corporate accounts. Yay. Okay, I just like Facebook is still hella popular. I need a Facebook users over time, and I'm sure that they're talking about, like, they're saying there's a lot of bots there, but I feel like Facebook's actually still popular. But despite people like not using it, I think people still do actually use it. It's definitely plateauing, but just because they have essentially every person who has a phone that wants to join Facebook has probably already joined. You know, they have like 3 billion people. Like, this is, yeah, monthly active Facebook users. Now, I don't know like how accurate this is. I'm sure there's some percentage that's bots, obviously, but like the whole point is it's still way more popular, I think, than people think. When is this day? When is this? Fourth quarter 2023, so a year ago. Quarterly number? Is this quarterly? No, this is number. Oh, yeah, this is it. I'm trying to think. Let's look at North America, because like that's kind of like, yeah, bro, 272 million. There's like 330 people in 330 million people in North America, or at least California, or I mean United States. Yeah, 340 million. Like, they have like almost every. This is monthly active users. Like, so these people probably at least logged in once this month. Like, I don't know. To me that seems like Facebook is still insanely popular. Okay. But I could also see this like assuming, again, going down the, I wish do they have anything on age here? Age. Yeah, bro, it's most young people distributing to Facebook users worldwide as of 2024 by age in general. This is worldwide, but I wish we could look at it at United States or North America. And also, Meta is like the second or third driver of internet traffic in the entire world. So like, you know, like, I don't know. But most young people use it still. Okay, like maybe, okay, here's a anecdotal observation, but when I was in the Air Force, a lot of people, like, we use Facebook for everything, but I think a lot of people in more rural areas use Facebook a lot because it just kind of, I don't know, that's just how it works out. And I think maybe people in more like suburban or like urban, larger city areas probably use things that are a bit more trendy and maybe not as Facebook, and so they probably use more like Instagram, Snapchat, X, I don't know what other social media platform, TikTok, YouTube. That could be the case, and so in going along, like, most people live in more urban areas, but even, I don't know, this chart just doesn't paint that picture, but it is worldwide, so it's hard to understand it. So okay, anyways, yeah, we got enough. Oh, but I was gonna say, like, I can imagine like old people not really understanding and then like talking to this AI thinking it's a person, like, oh, it's so, they're so friendly, you know, like, oh my gosh, and then it's actually like an AI bot. Franchise offers very little in the way of new things people actually want. Yeah, these are all just these people are taking their personal experience and like their they're like three friends and like acting like everyone else has that same feeling though, and I think that's just not accurate. Especially, and like I've just come to that opinion a lot more recently, especially as I've been looking into a lot more research reports and just technology, especially AI these past few days, but just in general, like if you look at large research reports by like Goldman Sachs or consulting firms like McKinsey or just public opinion stuff, it's usually more spread out than you might think. And like the numbers we just looked at tell a different picture than like, you know, one or these like few people in the comments, I guess. So I don't know. Anyways, yeah, this is interesting actually. This is interesting, and I do want to see how this plays out, if it actually works. I think it's gonna work, actually. I could see it may not work with everyone, but I could see it working enough to where us like a small portion, maybe like 10% of their audience, you know, might use it, or 10% of users might use it, and it's enough for them to like justify spending and like a new revenue source for them. Because I think if character AI actually gets like sued and like, I don't know if they'd go out of business, but this to me this is they found a market fit, and that they actually have customers. Do you have to pay for this? Like, you have to pay. This isn't free, right? Like, they'd be losing so much money. Safety center. Character AI price. Don't really talk much. Yeah, I think one of their users like killed themselves. Yeah. Yeah, bro, I don't know if these guys are gonna last. And I don't know. To me, I guess that's where meta might sneak in here. Let me see if it costs anything. Probably like 20 bucks a month if I had to guess. What the heck? It just went to this. Can I Internet Archive? Oh yeah, oh okay. Ah, what the hell? $5. But they just make no money. No way they're they're not charging for this. Oh, bro, this is a character name price on character AI. You're autistic and were recently recruited to Ghost Unit. Bro, where did I stumble upon? Where am I right now? Holy shit. All right, I'm out of there. Okay, let's continue here. Oh yeah, let's hit this real quick. This was kind of cool. World's first modular handheld gaming device. Whoa, what did I just click on right before that? They made some cool, I'm assuming this is a Chinese company, but their design for these devices are actually pretty cool. Like, I'll give them that. Like, these are cool. I saw one of these recently on YouTube, and like I actually think these are kind of cool. Like, I don't know, like it's very like cyber decky. Like, I don't know, like being able to put this in your pocket. It's like a computer, has a full keyboard. Like you could just like do shit on it. Like, I don't know. That's kind of cool. Just like as a cool gadget. And actually, I don't know if I can find it, but I actually saw, we're just free flowing today. We're just going on a lot of side tangents. I'll hit the survey in China rockets here in a sec, just because like I always want to hit I always want to talk about things to put in the title, in the thumbnail. No clickbait here. Let me see if I get a scroll on YouTube and find it. It was like a cool little like cyber deck computer, and I've seen a few of them over the past like year or so, but they're just kind of like definitely toys. Also, I've been I want to get back into more like AI agent like coding and stuff to help me. I can't find it. Let me see if I have my watch later. That's on my other YouTube account. Really. Anyways, yeah, there's a lot of like cyberduck stuff, but I thought this was cool. Or this is cool. But actually, how much do these cost? $840. Holy shit! That was way more expensive than I thought. You could just build a full-size PC for that much. But I guess this is, you know, this is a lot in a compact thing. Black cheaper? No. Shit, this is hell expensive. How much does like the other ones cost? This one's lame because it doesn't have like this touchscreen honestly is a gimmick. This one's probably more expensive, even though it's like less utility. Is this Android? This is Windows. Oh, you could pre-order it? Oh, is it done? How much did it cost though? Anyways. Then here's this one. This one's probably been more expensive. $700? How the hell is this one cheaper? Can you? I want to see it slide down though. You know, a single picture with it slid down? What's the slide part? Oh, come on. Then show it slid down. Literally, it's like they're like, oh, you could push it, whatever, but like, they actually didn't even show it? Kind of weird. That's a little sus. Okay, they're like partly slid down there. Oh, is this it slid down? Jesus, finally. Oh, this design's actually pretty good because it covers the keyboard and you could just play it like a normal handle. Oh, this is actually interesting design. Okay. Anyways, okay, Jesus.
If you're struggling to get more than 100 views on your videos and you feel like the algorithm is ignoring your channel, then I have some exciting news.
Here we go. 9-minute algorithm hack. Okay, yeah, this thing I just thought was cool. I just want to show it off. I think the big selling point is you could kind of buy if you like a orientation of joysticks, or you like, you know, I don't know, if you're left-handed, you might want like these main things on the left side, or you just want a different combination of things. You could add that. I think it's pretty cool. It's a little gimmicky, but I wonder how much it cost. Yeah, okay. Anyways, all right, let's look at some of China's new rockets for 2025. China's just been really pushing the space stuff, compete with United States here. We were been watching The Office kind of before bed, and we watched the China episode with Michael Scott. And it's funny because, this was, the shows like, I don't know, the episodes like 2011, 12, like 2010s, little like around then. And he's like, China's gonna pass us as the next superpower. They're catching up on everything. And it's like funny because it's like, we're still saying that today, but we've been saying that for how many years now? They're just always a threat. They've always been a threat, I guess. But okay, let's take a look at some of the rockets. I love just looking at and analyzing and just kind of like the design of rockets and stuff. I have a bunch of like aircraft and airplane books just because I like just looking at the diagrams and understanding them, and just, I don't know, I'm just kind of a nerd like that. So we're just gonna kind of peruse today here and just look at some of the new rockets. And then actually, you know what? I'm gonna kind of do the survey first because I want to end on this. This is a little more chill. Let's just look at these survey here. We were talking about AI stuff. Let's change moods here. Yeah, this was published in bro, one of the most annoying things I've noticed about all these like research reports and everything from companies is they never publish when they I don't know when this came out. I finally found it at the very bottom here. It goes published in December, but like this should be at the top. If I'm reading this and it's from 2 years ago, like, I don't know, I feel like that should be kind of pushed more. And also the other another survey I was like looking at, I couldn't find it at all, and I literally had to go to inspect console. I like went up here to the head. I found some meta property that said when it was published. Oh yes, right here. So publish time. This is published 12/12. All right, this is what I had to do to get the the publish date. It's like, come on, just put that where we could read that. Anyways, I think is this Bain Capital? Is that how you? Or is Bain and Company? Is that Bain Capital different? Yeah, Bain's quarterly surveys executives find that companies are just as bullish on generative AI as they were a year ago. After initial wave of enthusiasm for generative AI, signs of skepticism started to appear. Analysts and investors began to ask more pointed questions. Where are the returns on investment? What applications are best suited for generative AI? Is this another bubble? Bain's third quarterly survey on AI readiness has found that for the most part, executives in the enterprises they manage aren't buying into the narrative. They've continued to invest in generative AI, increase the number of pilot programs as well as deployments in production, and continued to express high levels of satisfaction with this powerful new technology. That's interesting. And yeah, so I guess I thought too that this year, especially with generative AI, and I feel like a lot of generalization on AI is actually pointed towards generative AI because, like I said earlier, AI has been around for a while, and like AI, like machine learning and such, they've existed for a while, like years. Pre 2017, which 2017 was kind of the turning point for generative AI because that's when the Google DeepMind published the paper outlining kind of a new strategy for generative AI, and that was so that I consider kind of 2017 onward as the as generative AI stuff. Anything, yeah, that was a good episode. Sorry, I just saw the chat message. It's better because we watched it together. Yeah, and so I think generative AI is kind of what we're talking about here. And I'd assume, so kind of like think about this past year really when it's like more so when the big tech enterprises started pushing more like products like Copilot, Salesforce, and their Agent Force or whatever product name they probably already changed since I've last looked. They've been pushing out more, and so I assume that this year and leading into the next, but really even this year, especially like at least 1 year after they implemented things, they'd actually be looking at more return on investment in understanding if it's worth pursuing or if it's not, or if we need to change strategies. It seems like that they are agents. How's it going? Talk about AI opinion surveys. Also, please don't tell me that you're here to sell me artwork. Because right now you're following the pattern. You're following the pattern that every other person that's been trying to sell me artwork has done. Yeah, I assume that this next year is like the return on investment stuff is really gonna come into play, but it might not quite yet. I don't know when. Like, I wish we could see a chart or a curve on like when most like large generative AI projects were deployed in enterprises, because we could kind of get an idea of like when majority of them will kind of need to start seeing return on investment stuff. But I'd assume that they need to start seeing ROI pretty soon. But I think corporate America is just looking at this as a way to cut cost significantly. And I think that they're all kind of like that Spider-Man meme where there's like all pointing guns at like this at each other. There's like, huh? Like, I just butchered that. Yes, this one. It's like them. That's like, this is like corporate America. It's like, wait, you did AI? Wait, you're doing AI? And so it's like, oh, like if you did AI, then I have to do AI. And it's like, because you're doing it, I have to do it. But then it's like, okay, well, like if they say it's doing good, then like, okay, well, why isn't ours doing good? So we have to say it's doing good because we can't be like we're falling behind on AI. If like people see that, like I feel like that's kind of the point we're at right here. And so I don't know if the companies are going to like fully admit that they might not be losing money. And I think they're going to spin it more so as like, oh, it's innovation, or we're still figuring things out, or ironing out the kinks, or something like that. I don't know. I could be completely off, but it just seems like a little bit of a weird thing right now, because there's really not too many use cases for generative AI besides like customer service, administrative stuff. So yeah, I don't know. Let's read into this here and we'll see. Okay, so generative AI rank as an overall company priority. And this is a good top 3 priority for about half of the executives we surveyed, and top 5 priority for another 28. And I think this is I wish they gave more detail into who they surveyed. See, that's why, yeah, I don't, yeah, this is so annoying sometimes. I think it was executives, but like I think like Morning Console or something, they usually their previous have been surveys have been companies with 1,000 or more employees, because I think that's kind of more like bigger enterprise, and so that's kind of like where it matters. So I'm assuming it's probably something like that, like larger executive companies. Oh, Agent 66, you've already came into the chat and tried to sell me the art stuff. Welcome back. Is there like a tag I have? No. How would you stumble upon my stream again? Okay. So this, I think, though, the fact that it's like for the next few years, I think is kind of where it comes in. Oh, okay. So this is actually change over time. Oh God, I don't know if this is the best way to show this, but so darker is here. Interesting. Okay. 1% said isn't a priority. Yeah. One reason it remains a priority is that across the industry, 75% of executives told us it poses a significant risk of disrupting their industry. The perception of risk has held steady across 3 surveys. Yeah, and I think this goes into what I was saying, where it's like disrupting their industry could be code for like overhauling it, like changing how things are done because of the AI reliance or what AI could do. So I feel like that's kind of what's like it's more so like keep up or be left behind. You know, the competition is not going to, you know, play nice. They're going to do whatever they have, whatever they can do in their power for a competitive advantage. That's legal. In some cases, with especially corporations, not legal. So, okay. So what risk of disruption do you pose for your industry? Okay. I mean, wait, what did they say? Poses a significant risk. Moderate risk is not significant to me. Moderate risk is above 50%, below 75 or something. High risk there's quite a few with high risk. Interesting. I wonder what markets they're like, or what kind of companies they're in. How will it change competitive dynamics in your industry? High impact, 4 to 5, low impact. Core product differentiation. Okay, so this is interesting. Okay, so core product differentiation. So their actual product. So they're saying that AI could help them differentiate their product from the rest, but if everyone else has AI, then yeah, it's kind of this. I'm sure there's some economic model or some business like reason why, but it's like if everyone else offers AI, everyone else has to offer AI just to be at the base level of competition. And so I think this is kind of where it's going to come in, where it might differentiate your product now, but pretty soon you're just going to have to include it to even compete on the same level as everyone else who has AI in their product or whatever, assuming that you could use AI in there. And then new customer engagement models. Yeah, this is more mixed. I think the closer it is to 50 on each side, plus or minus 2%, probably it's probably like 50, like it's mixed, I guess. That's what this tells me. This tells me that people see a slight more, have a slight lean in terms of AI having core product differentiation. This one just seems like it's 50-50, like they offset each other, so they don't really think anything yet. Although I would like to see change over time, like they're saying this is the third installment of this survey. Cost structure. See, this is interesting, because they see low impact, but I would assume cost structure would be higher, or it'd be different, because, or at least like high impact, because you could pay robots to do something for less than a human. In new business models, I'm also surprised this one's more neutral, because again, you could pay people less than humans, and so I feel like creating a new business model around the idea that you could pay some of the fractional price. But yeah, I wish they showed that over time. I'd love to see how this has shifted. The shift could give us a more insight into kind of these static numbers right here. It might, understand more. We can understand more about, like, if it's shifting one way, then we know where the trend is going, versus just looking at I don't know. This is, yeah. Where is your company using or considering using generative AI? Developing, piloting, in production. Yeah, most of it is developing, piloting, and this probably also goes to the return on investment kind of mentioned earlier. So software and code development, which, yeah, and percentage. Okay. Because I'll say software tech companies are generally going to be more forward thinking in terms of implementing new technology and taking a risk on it for various reasons. And so assume that software development, or companies that have, like, more techie who write software or code, would probably be using it, because that's actually a place that AI is like reasonably good at least. Still a little bit AI slop, but I think Google saying how like a significant portion of their code, like 20% or something is generated now. So that would make sense. But let's and this is just yeah, interesting. Core product enhancement. That's the second most. Natural language interfaces. Oh, interesting. This being, instead of, you know, clicking around in an interface, you could kind of just casually talk to a chatbot, and it'll translate what you want into more technical things. So like you could be like, hey, delete this record in a database, and it'll just figure out how to do that behind the scenes with like writing SQL or whatever, or like calling an API. That's what it seems like to me. That's cool. Customer service. I can't believe this isn't number one, but it's still high, I guess. New products, knowledge worker effectiveness. Yeah, this is also a good use case for now. Marketing, IT, sales, operations, HR. Okay. Another theory. This is actually interesting, and it kind of, the fact that IT is this far down, but I'd assume that the departments in a more traditional company like marketing, IT, sales, operations, finance, legal, HR, customer service, I'd assume there's some correlation between average age of employee and its implementation of AI products and services like HR, legal, finance. Maybe not finance, but if you're talking about more traditional company, then yeah, I mean, the average age is probably older. I don't know. It seems like this is like fits that a bit. But definitely also probably more likely is its terms of like legal ramifications. So like finance is harder because, yeah, you have to be more precise. Legal, obviously. HR, probably legal ramifications. Like these, there's a requirement for human in the loop essentially for these. This theory, I'm just based on what I've been reading and seeing. Where you've used generative AI, what were the results? Okay, wait. First, what's the most in production? 25. Customer service and software development. Okay, that makes sense actually then. And the most developing a pilot, 39, 43. Core product enhancement. That's interesting. So we'll probably see even more AI rollouts here this year. Okay, what were the results? Yeah, what were the results? Okay, fell short, met our goals, exceeded. Meat is definitely, yeah, the largest. But surprisingly, fell short and fell far short aren't even, like, it's only a quarter about, over, you know, even overall. It did the best in IT stuff and marketing here. Interesting. Just over half say generative AI has already delivered business value, while it has not met some expectations. Percentage of respondents. Okay. Lack of skills with tools. It's crazy that this is going up. This is like the biggest trend. One of the biggest trends I've seen is just lack of skill. Not even with tools, just in general. Didn't perform as needed. Didn't perform as needed. It's an interesting way of saying it. I think didn't perform as intended. But needed actually could fit well. But that went down though, so interesting. Process redesign too laborious. Interesting. Where's the AI to help process redesign? Poor output quality, that's gone down, so that means quality potentially has gone up, or they figured out how to get better quality stuff. That is incompatible, that's about to say the same. Companies are more likely to say they don't understand how to use tools. What these, like, I don't understand some of their wording sometimes. Oh, this is so finicky. Okay. What prevents your company from moving faster? Quality and accuracy concerns, lack of expertise or resources. Yeah, that's kind of the trend. Data privacy security. This is good to see go down. Company data not ready. Unproven ROI. This has gone up, but this is actually still quite a bit lower than the other ones, which is interesting. Intellectual property concerns. Yeah, I'd put that with like data privacy, but that's kind of going down. Regulatory uncertainty. I think this is going down too because there's not much like regulation happening. This has gone down. Tech platform not ready. Lack of executive support. Bro, executives are like, bro, we're say less, pay people less to do the same job. They're realizing that their data is not ready for generative AI. Yeah. Which department leads generative AI initiatives? IT makes sense. AI, machine learning, data science. Strategy and competitive intelligence. That's interesting. I think a lot of times though, IT is within here. I kind of worked in business intelligence, which kind of falls under like data science. We did some machine learning stuff, but mainly not really. But we would kind of fall under here. But we were in IT. Like ultimately, we reported to our IT operations manager. Companies outside the tech sector are more likely to manage AI initiatives from information technology departments. Okay. Yeah, and this is key too because yeah, like outside the technology sector, because if you work at a tech company, there's probably some assumption of at least a little technological competency. Technology companies are more likely to manage AI initiatives from their engineering, R&D, data science, or product development departments. Interesting. Interesting that, yeah, because I guess if you're a tech company, you probably have specific departments that are like this, or specific departments for AI, data science and stuff. To what extent have you centralized decision making about generative AI? Everything's trending down. Leaders are those companies with greater percentage of success use cases are more likely to centralize their ideas and prioritization. Interesting. Off the shelf DIY. Oh, wow, more are doing DIY. That's insane. I would not have thought that. But I do think though there's probably something to say about lack of products that probably fit their specific use cases, and so you have to DIY. But that's part of adopting technology early, is there's less abstraction kind of in our like if we look at it at this, like if we look at it like this, I don't have it. Oh yeah, right here. Technology adoption curve. I wish I just had something. Anyways, generally looking at this as in terms of like adoption, generally speaking, that as you go down this way, things get if up here is complexity, as you get down here, you generally get more abstraction. Because if you think about it, like the companies who are like up here taking on like early stage, like Nvidia's, TSMC, like hardware companies, chip companies, they're very technologically advanced. They are at the lowest level in terms of the actual product. These are required. These are like the pickaxes and shovels to gold. And as we get down this way, as other companies pick up and make products, they get less and less abstract. So I mean, think of like OpenAI. When they first started off, they pretty much only had an API. There was no ChatGPT. And as the technology has progressed, especially through, you know, kind of the technology adoption curve. You know, if we're kind of down here and this is like mass adoption up here, as we go through this curve thing, this is where this comes into play. And down here with like early innovators, these are generally technologically advanced people, or at least understand technology and innovation, and so they're okay with kind of doing more DIY stuff, just to be on the cutting edge. And as we progress up this curve as well, continuing with this, you know, looking at this survey here, just like basing this off of this, this also kind of means DIY too. And then this down here, over here, means full abstraction is like products, specific services or products. And so, you know, since we're kind of early on in this curve here, we're kind of like, you know, probably like somewhere like over here, there's less products specific to what the businesses need because it requires more complexity in DIY. And as we figure things out and iron out, you know, just whatever AI problems we have with generative AI and such, we'll get more abstraction, which will lead to more specific products and services, requiring companies to do less DIY. And, you know, we're kind of in this is the companies here, you know, we just looked at the, you know, with the department leads generative AI initiatives, it's IT departments, and so these are who they're going to selling to. But these down here, this is who Google and OpenAI and Meta and Salesforce, they're selling to these IT departments here, because these are the ones who are going to implement it, just as we kind of saw. And then these startups are arguably also selling to these companies up here, but they're kind of in the same phase because they still are likely built on the backs of, you know, OpenAI, Meta, Google, their Microsoft, their AI products, but they still sell to these guys. So that's kind of, it seems like where we're at right now. This is for my upcoming video. Here we go. Okay. All right, let's wrap. Oh, perfect. I was like, let's wrap this up here. The results of our third quarterly survey show that companies continue to see generative AI as a top company priority, and they continue to invest in pursuit of new business value. Most executives believe that generative AI poses a real risk of disruption in their industry, not only in terms of cost, but in changing products and business processes. Companies continue to invest in a wide range of use cases, some of which show greater promises than others, including code development, marketing, operations, R&D, and more. Where generative AI has failed to meet expectations, executives are most likely to blame their own lack of skills with tools. In addition, the percentage of respondents who identified data unreadiness as a roadblock has grown with each survey. Cool. This was interesting. Yeah, good insight, a good grounder to actually see where we're at, especially with the businesses. You know, we have a while. We're still very early on in terms of like a full adoption. Cool. All right, let's jump over to the space here, and then we'll end on this. Yeah, China to debut new Long March and commercial rockets in 2025. Okay. New Long March rockets are commercially developed. Launch vehicles are expected to have their first flights in 2025, boosting China's overall launch capabilities. The various launchers will be reusable, adapted and for reusability, or be expendable but be designed for regular cost-effective flights. Interesting. Yeah, I mean, they're really just trying to compete with SpaceX and the more Western fleet of reusable rockets that's continuing to grow. New Glenn just did static test fire maybe a week or so ago. Or even like earlier this week or something. Ugh, excuse me. I think it was last week. And there's fully reusable. We got, I don't know if Firefly's reusable, but we got Electron, or Rocket Lab's Electron rocket, SpaceX. I don't know if Ariane Space has reusable rockets yet. United Launch Alliance is not reusable. Yeah. But China pretty much just has Long March right now. And there's a few others that are popping up, it looks like. I'm not quite sure. Yeah, anyways. The various launchers will be usable, adapted for reusability, or be expendable, but be designed for regular, cost-effective flights. The launchers will compete for contracts to launch satellites for China's mega constellation projects, Thousand Sails, and Guowang space station cargo missions, and commercial and other contracts, helping to boost the country's overall access to space and launch rate in the coming years. Okay, we got Long March 8A. Where do we like kind of go like this here? Okay. So this is our basic rocket. This is our like heavy lifter. One of the first to fly will be the Long March 8A variant of the existing Long March 8, both a larger, more powerful second stage, boosting payload capacity to a 700 kilometer sun synchronous orbit from 5,000 to 7,000. While rockets make more voluminous 5.2 meter diameter payload fairings. Okay, interesting. So it's a big, it seems like, yeah, a little, carry more weight, a little bigger. I've already flown this one, actually, seems like. Oh, they may be testing. No, they've used it since 2020. I think they have 3 launches planned this year, though, with this. The rocket developed by China Academy of Launch Vehicle Technology under the country's state-owned main space contractor, CASC. Could fly as soon as January 19th, according to recent released marine navigation warnings. CSC has set up new facilities to boost production of the YF-100 engines, which power the first stage of the Long March 8 and other kerosene Long March rockets. They use kerosene? Is that standard? Is that typical? That doesn't seem like it is. I feel like it... Interesting. Okay, then we got the Zook. Free land space, is that it? Oh yeah, here, the Zook. Saying this wrong. Zuck. So this is the 1. What's the 3? Oh, here it is. It's under development. One of the first Chinese commercial launch firms, Land Space, is preparing for their first orbital launch of its Zook 3 for Million Bird 3. Okay, that's an interesting... It's like a vulture? Is that what it's supposed to mean? In 2025, following VTVL test. Let's watch. Jesus Christ. The music. Like, oh. Cool. Okay, that's our next one. 660 tons. The company announced January 1 via its Sina Weibo social media account that the 9 Tiank 12 engines for the first stage have been produced. The new launcher could launch the Haolong reusable cargo spacecraft in 2026. Interesting. Cool. Then we got the Tianlong 3. I feel like I've heard of this one. No picture? Oh, this is a fat boy. private Chinese rocket took an unscheduled flight over the weekend. This is apparently what was supposed to be a static fire test today. Tiangong 3 first stage by Chinese space pioneer. That's catastrophic, not static. Jesus Christ, bro. Yeah. Oh, okay, this is it. Static fire. Like, oh shit, we forgot to strap it down. It takes off. It's essentially a missile. Uh-oh. But where's this going? Holy shit. I want to see it land. Oh, come on. Holy shit. Camera froze. That's crazy. Oh, here's another view. It's already reached orbit? Like, how does it fail this catastrophically? Bro, that's insane. I just like explosion videos sometimes. Okay. This rocket stage fell to Earth, creating a fireball and impact. The event was captured by onlookers. Yeah, that's crazy. Okay, they're planning to launch. The company itself survived a near disaster and is planning to launch Tianlong 3 in 2025. It is benchmarked against the Falcon 9. Okay, so it seems to likely be comparable to that. Okay, Palace 1. No picture again. Manufacturer Galactic Energy. I love that name. The company's long-term objective is to mine asteroids for rare metals and minerals. Okay. Commercial outfit Galactic Energy is planning the first launch of its Palace 1, a kerosene liquid oxygen rocket, which will eventually be adapted for first stage reusability of a payload capacity of 8,000. Yeah. It will have a payload. Yeah. The company says a 3-core stage variant will be capable of carrying 30,000 kilograms to low Earth orbit. That seems like that's a lot, actually. Doesn't seem like a lot. The medium lift. So Falcon 9. How much did Falcon 9 carry? Oh. Pff. Wait, FT? But that's still like way more. Oh, this is oh my god! I'm so that's just how heavy it is. It's like, bro, what? Okay, yeah, it's a lot less. Okay, Series 2. Oh, that's what we just looked at. I think that's a Galactic Space one, right? Yeah, but that's this guy. Okay, so these guys have 2 rockets coming out. Galactic Energy also planned the debut of Series 2 rocket in the first half of 2025. The launcher will be an upgraded variant of the Series 1 solid rocket. Interesting. Okay, Nebula 1. I've got 3 more. Deep Blue Aerospace. There's a lot of people like rocket companies. Bro, just have an essay on their site. Like, come on. Nebula 1. The reusability. Oh, interesting. Are they landing it on like a oil? Whoops. Open image. It looks like they're landing on like a oil rig. That's interesting. I don't know, but that seems like that'd be hard to. I feel like that really limits your capabilities. Then you have to launch a rocket from like a similar spot. It has to fly in a way that could reach this. Where I think the barge, whereas like a barge, you know, you could just deploy it anywhere you want in the ocean theoretically. Interesting. Commercial company Deep Blue Aerospace is planning to launch a Nebula 1 rocket this year, aiming to recover and reuse the rocket. Nebula 1 is a two-stage launcher, kerosene liquid rocket engine. 3D printed Thunder R1 engines on its first stage, and a single engine on the second. Interesting. Kinetica 2 CAS space. Close some tabs here. Rocket. CAS space, yeah, this is it. It's majority owned by the state. This is the state owned, or the state company that gives out the contracts. Oh, I hate websites with sound, music. Okay, these guys have a lot of rockets actually. Bro, this looks like Blue Origin Space. This looks like the Starship. Arrow 1 carrier, Arrow 2 carrier, Arrow 2 heavy, Arrow 3 carrier, suborbital aircraft. Is already flying with the solid propellant Kinetica 1. Wow, solid propellant, that's interesting. But it plans its first kerosene liquid oxygen launch in the second half of 2025. Kinetica 2 will be blah blah blah. Rocket will eventually be made reusable according to CS Space. Kinetica 2 has been selected to launch the Qingzhou cargo spacecraft from Innovation Academy for microsatellites of the China Academy of Sciences as part of the low-cost space station cargo service. Interesting. Okay. Beijing Interstellar Glory Space Technology. Holy shit, bro. iSpace. Nope. Bro, like, do none of their sites have HTTP, like HTTPS? Are they not encrypted? Like the other ones I noticed weren't either. It's kind of weird. Whoa, what is this? They have a lot of vehicles. Like a space plane? Bro, this looks like a ICBM, not a space rocket. Okay, I can't really give much from this website. Okay, that's a space plane for space tourism. Interesting. Or iSpace. Made history in 2019 as the first privately funded Chinese company to reach orbit with the solid fuel Hyperbola 1. The first privately funded Chinese company. Interesting. But has struggled with the rocket ever since, suffering its fourth failure overall in 2024. Undeterred, the company plans to launch its own Kerolox rocket in 2025. Kerolox, that seems to be the kerosene liquid oxygen. Never heard that term before. It's skipping the lighter Hyperbola 2 to reach the lighter payload capabilities aimed for by competitors with 69 meters. In the future, having performed a VTVL test in November. Other possibilities for debut launches include Gravity 2 rocket from Orion Space. They'll be competing with each other for limited domestic contracts. The result, however, will likely be that China gains new low-cost reusable launchers that will boost China's access to space, allow an increase in launch rate needed for mega constellations like Starlink, or their 1,000 sails, I think they're calling it, project. And other projects potentially attract international payloads through geopolitical challenges remain. Interesting. Cool. Yeah, a lot of new rockets coming out. I'd love to I'd like to see more competition here in the United States. I don't think we have that many. Like, we just listed like 5 or 6 different space companies all competing on like the same rocket. I just don't really think we have that right now. Especially ones that are as far along as SpaceX. Blue Origin could be argued, but they haven't actually they haven't really even proven themselves yet. They're still all on paper. So, all right, that's all I got planned for today's stream. No stream tomorrow. Today is Thursday, but we'll be back Monday, 9 a.m. Pacific, to cover some more news. Hope you guys enjoy it. Follow me on X and subscribe on YouTube. Have long form videos coming. Also have some other projects in the works. So yeah, I appreciate everyone showing up today and watching. Hope you learned something. Enjoyed the stream, and I'll see you Monday, 9 a.m. Pacific. Thanks, everyone.